Hello, my name is Ben Kopacki, and this is my CSO21 final project. It's a US state nickname guessing game. Um, so getting into the code right off the bat, my module I used, which has not been used in class yet, was the CSV module. And on top of that, I used the random module as well in this code. At the top of the code here, you can see I import it right off the bat. So getting into the code, the main function immediately calls a CSV conversion. Um, and scrolling down to that function, you can see that it opens up a CSV file, which I'll show you in just a second, and saves it as F. This then converts the CSV file by reading it using the CSV module dot reader, um, and then moves it into a empty list by appending it with each of the rows. That CSV file can be seen here. I initially put all the values into a Excel sheet um, off of a website offline, and then converted the Excel sheet into a CSV file by using File, Save As, and as you can see here, CSV file. So this function will return the data, and this data will be crucial to the rest of the code because it is all of the information of the states and their associated state nicknames. Um, right here at the top, you see the rounds and cumulative points. Right off the bat, there are no rounds and there's no cumulative points, so both those values are set at 0. And we are going into the welcome statement. The welcome statement is pretty simple, just basically tells you that you have 3 guesses within the game, and you have a certain scoring system that can be seen here. And once the attempt maximum is reached, it will be terminated and you will receive 0 points. Um, and to begin the game, you have to enter 1, and it'll bring you out of the welcome menu and into the game. If the value put into the startup is not 1, it'll continue looping until it is 1. Uh, and once it becomes 1, it'll run the while statement here. Uh, so right off the bat, inside of this loop, we have the random state function. This is a function that can be seen down here, and it takes a random sample out of the data which we converted using the CSV module and saves it as combo in this case. And it takes the string out of the combo, and that'll be the pairing of state and state nickname, and saves the first part of the string as the state, second part of the string as the nickname, and then we'll remove the entire string from the data set. This is a very crucial step in the code because it allows the list to not repeat any values because it removes the value up until it gets to 0 values, which we'll cover later on in the code. Um, and then at the end of this function, it returns the data, which is the new data list that has been adjusted, the state, and the nickname. Um, so shooting right back up to here, we now have the guess state uh, function. This function is the most crucial out of all of them, in my opinion, because it is the function which allows the user to input their guesses and allows them to put in their guess in any form, capitalized, all lowercase, or in the correct format of capitalized first letters. But let's get into this function. So here you can see the state. It's a print statement asking what is the nickname, and then it allows the user to put in their guess. And then this happens with all of the guesses. The guess will then be converted um, in the guess converter function, which can be seen down here. The guess converter function is a simple function. It takes the takes the words from the guess, lowercases them fully, and then capitalizes the first word, and then appends the empty list from above, uh, and then joins the list together using the .join function, and then returns the guess back up to the guess function. And then this runs through a couple of if statements, if and else statements, and the crucial point here is when you're running through the if and else, it'll deduct points by 0.25, and eventually, if you don't get it right after 3 guesses, your points will be 0, and it'll return the amount of points you receive. Going back up, the two equations here are also very crucial to the entire function. The rounds will add 1 throughout every single time the while loop is looped, and then cumulative points will be added onto with the points of each round. Cumulative score function is very simple as well. Shooting down to here, it is just a simple ratio between points and the rounds, and then multiplied by 100 to make it into a percentage out of 100, and then returns a score. And we have an if statement. So at this point, if the rounds equal 50, it will print that you have successfully finished the guessing game of all 50 states, and then it'll do option 3, which will shoot you into the final grading, which we'll get into in a second. Else, if it's not equal to 50 and you can continue running, it'll run the menu statement, which you'll see in here and here. The menu statement is another crucial point of this entire code because it gives you the options for the user, and the user will input an option, and depending on the option, it will either say invalid and force them to pick a valid option of 1, 2, or 3, or return the option and then run that option into the main function. If the option is 2, it'll print the statistics for that user at that point, and then redo the menu until it gets 1 or 3 to continue the program or end the program. And if it ends the program with 3, which brings us down to our final line in the main, it'll use the final grading function. And the final grading function is kind of a fun little function. It's very simple. It's basically just taking the score of the user, comparing it in a range of tens, and just giving a fun little saying or little poke at you at the end of your code once you finally get your final grade. And that is pretty much it. So let's run this code. All right, so right off the bat, we got our welcome statement, and we're going to press 1 to start the game. So Sunshine State, right off the bat, that's Florida. And I'm going to enter that in all caps to show that it is able to be interpreted. Get that right off the bat. Let's do another one. Bluegrass State is Kentucky, but let's pretend we don't really know. Let's say Louisiana. No. New Jersey. No. And let's try Kentucky now in all lowercase. Got it. See how it's printed in this here that it is capitalized in the first one, but here we were able to put it in all lowercase, but it still interpreted it and gave us the right answer. So let's try the current statistics. So after 2 states, I'm at 75%, since I got 100% on the first one and 50% on the second one. And we're able to do that, and we can just continue this program, just continue and go and go and go and go on until whenever we want to stop. And by the end, if we want to end it, we press 3. Well, in that case, it was a guess, but let me try that again. So, uh, so now we got the menu here. We press 3, and it'll give you your final score. It's 30%, and just a little poke at you, um, saying that life isn't all about state nicknames. And so that's the way you can end it that way. But I loaded up previously program. I ran through all of it up until 49 states here. So I'm going to show you how, uh, if you run it out fully um, to 50 states, how it'll terminate the program and give you your final statement. So let's kind of type this wonky to show the guess converter function. Let's do Wisconsin, just the Badger state, and put that in there. Gives you the right answer. You've reached 50 states, and it gives you you've successfully finished guessing all 50 states. Let's see how you did, and it'll run the final grading program, give you your final score, and just a little poke, like I said again. Um, Besides that, the program runs pretty well, um, and that is my total project. Thank you for watching/listening, and have a great day.